If you're feeling down in the dumps, tired of your health holding you back, look no further than Fire Your MD Now with Dr. Glidden, the radio show that strives to get you in optimal health. Look out, Big Pharma. Someone is looking for the knockout punch. Here's Dr. Glidden.
Here we are, everybody, on day 3 of your health tutorial series with Dr. Glidden, showing you how it's easier than you could have possibly imagined to recover your health. Because one of the myths that's perpetrated by our friends, the MDs, is this ridiculous notion that healing is a complicated, sophisticated process that only should be attempted by people wearing white coats and stethoscopes, working in multi-million-dollar hospitals. It's nonsense. Surgery is complicated. Healing is easy. Monday and Tuesday of this week, we were talking about the importance of minerals. Today, we're going to take up the subject of vitamins. It's a very interesting subject, but let me just kind of put this in perspective for you, all right? My colleague, Dr. Wallach, well, first of all, MDs have no training, no experience, no clinical experience, no personal experience. Well, they might have some personal experience, but no clinical experience. No appreciation, no respect for medical nutrition. If they had training, clinical experience, or respect for medical nutrition, that's all that they would practice, because medical nutrition produces remarkable results compared to drug medicine and surgery medicine. It does. It's not even on the same playing field. Comparing medical nutrition to prescription medications and drugs is like comparing Toyota to an Indy race car. It's still, they're both cars, but it's a completely different class of automobile. It is a completely different league of automobiles. Medical nutrition, science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition produces remarkable results. Synthetic allopathic medicine, reductionistic allopathic medicine delivering pharmaceuticals and surgery maintains and manages illness. Medical nutrition provokes the body's ability to fix itself. We actually get things done in a curative fashion rather than just managing symptoms. Now, according to the Food and Drug Administration, the only thing that can cure anything is a drug. So we could have 10,000 people who had completely recovered from type 2 diabetes, 10,000 people who had completely recovered from osteoporosis or osteoarthritis or rheumatoid arthritis or whatever, and we would not be able to say we could cure it. So we're not. What we're saying is that our therapeutics eclipse those of synthetic pharmaceuticals in the treatment of chronic disease. And because our therapeutics support and promote the body's ability to fix itself. And this is the fundamental difference between us and the MDs. The MDs do not believe your body can fix itself, that when you're sick, you're screwed, and the only possible solution you have is to jump in and manage the metabolism of the human body with synthetic drugs which override, overpower, and control the innate workings of the human body. Well, one of the fundamental cornerstones of the holistic method is the belief that the human body has the ability to fix itself. The human body knows how to fix itself. However, the human body is not magical. The human body cannot create food out of thin air. The human body cannot create water out of thin air. The human body cannot create air out of thin air, right? All of these things have to be imported into the body. You have to breathe, you have to drink, and you have to eat. If you don't do either of these things, it's only a matter of time until you die. You can go a couple of weeks without food, you can go a couple of days without water, and you can only go a couple of minutes without air. Well, there's one more thing that the body needs that your medical professionals have neglected to tell you about because they are dunderheads. They are old-fashioned, out-of-the-loop, archaic dunderheads. And they're all in one gigantic dunderhead team that keeps all of this dunderhead nonsense perpetuating in popular culture. They are a ship of fools when it comes to everything outside of prescription medicine and surgery. According to the MDs, if they weren't taught it in medical school, it's just nonsense. And I am completely flabbergasted by their unrivaled dunderheadedness. There's a good term, dunderheadedness. They exhibit dunderheadedness with every patient most of the time. I'm going to tell you a story about a patient that I had a couple days ago. Later on in this segment, it'll blow your mind, literally or figuratively. Figuratively. But in any event, in order for the human body to function properly, we need food, we need water, we need air. There's one more thing that the dunderheads didn't tell you needed, and they should have. I'm telling you need it. You need 90 essential nutrients. Now, a nutrient is termed essential if the human body cannot make it. Essential nutrients have to be imported into the body every day, and there are 90 of them that we have discovered so far. The breakdown goes like this: 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and 2 essential fatty acids. We talked about the minerals Monday and Tuesday. Today we're talking about vitamins. There are 16 vitamins that your body needs in order to be healthy. Your body can't make these things. We need to eat food, drink beverages in order to get these vitamins into the body, but just hoping to get your vitamins into the body by eating from the 4 food groups is a fool's errand, because it's a crapshoot. Well, maybe the vitamins are there, maybe they're not. You don't know. Maybe you've got 60% of the vitamins necessary in your food. Maybe there's only 10%. You have no idea. Maybe you're not even able to absorb the vitamins that are in your food because your knucklehead MD has you on a salt-restricted diet and giving you Prilosec or a proton pump inhibitor, which completely stops your stomach's ability to digest anything. So even if you ate nutrient-rich food, you would not be able to pull nutrients out of it because the MD's therapeutics had completely obliterated one step in the digestive process. So when it comes to securing your vitamin needs, you can roll the dice and attempt to get those nutrient needs met, those essential nutrient needs met, just by eating. Or what's smarter is you can align yourself with a good, high-quality vitamin supplement that provides all 16 vitamins that your body needs in doses which are appropriate for your body weight, made from recipes which are sophisticated, science-based, and clinically verified. You know, vitamins are no different in this aspect than prescription medication. Let's say you had a sinus infection and you went to a dunderhead MD and he actually got it right for once and gave you an antibiotic. And he recommended that you take 30 milligrams of the antibiotic twice a day. That's what you needed to recover from your sinus infection, okay? 30 milligrams twice a day. Well, if you took 10 milligrams once a day, it wouldn't work. Does that mean antibiotics don't work? No, it means that you didn't take enough. Well, it's no different with vitamins. It's no different with minerals. It's no different with essential fatty acids or amino acids. When we're talking about nutritional supplementation with therapeutic amounts of essential nutrients, the recipe is one thing. Another thing is how much of it you're taking and how much of it your body is able to absorb. Once you have all of these bases covered, then you are good to go, baby. And when your body is completely replete with its vitamins, the switches turn on that have been turned off for a long time. Everything starts to function properly, and life is good. You know, it's no different, really, than driving a car that's been tuned up and driving a car that hasn't been tuned up. You drive the car that hasn't been tuned up, hasn't been taken care of. It's a rough ride. You drive the car that's the same year, the same make, the same model, has the same amount of miles on it, but it's been tuned up regularly. It's a completely different thing. Well, it's the same with the human body. Now, here's an interesting thing. I bet you never knew this. The term vitamin was coined in 1912 by, believe it or not, a Polish biochemist, and this guy's name was Kazimierz Funk. His last name was Funk. How about that? The term vitamin was coined by a Polish biochemist whose last name was Funk. How about that? The original term vitamin was a compound word derived from the combination of the two words vital and amine. Vital and amine. Vitamin, right? Now, when this term was originally coined, vital amine, it was thought at the time, because, biochemistry, nutritional biochemistry was in its infancy in 1912. Funk was looking for, Funk thought that he had isolated a group of compounds called amines, this is another way to say it, tomato, amine, amine. He thought that the active ingredient that he was witnessing working in his laboratory setting was a classification of nutrients called amines. And so he coined the term vital amine. But later it was found out that it wasn't an amine at all. It was another classification of organic compounds that the scientific community had no name for. So they shortened it and they called it, and they put the two words together, and that's how the word vitamin came into being, right? Vitamin, actually coined by a Polish biochemist in 1912, was a combination of two words, vital and amine. Now, according to a strict definition of the term, vitamin is an organic compound that is required for life by a living organism. And vitamins are essential nutrients, which means the body cannot make them. So all vitamins, and there are 16 of them that are essential, which means that all vitamins must be imported into the body in order to work. And, biochemists being not that creative, they, came up with the terms vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin D, and so forth and so on. And then as we become more sophisticated, we develop subcategories. So, vitamin B1, vitamin B2, vitamin B3, vitamin B7, so forth and so on. And this is kind of how the evolution of vitamin terminology has come into play over time. There are 16 vitamins that your body needs in order to function properly. And rather than rolling the dice, hoping against hope that you are going to secure these by chance from eating, from the 4 food groups is a fool's errand. I've been doing this business. I've been practicing holistic medicine for over 2 decades now. And the vitamins delivered, the vitamin recipes generated and put together by the Longevity Company produce more consistent, more better results than anything I've seen before. It makes a difference when it comes to vitamins. Who's brewing the soup? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Don't touch that dial. Coming back shortly.
Despite what medical experts tell you, it's just not possible to get all the nutrients your body needs from food. Minerals are essential for good health, but not all soils contain these nutrients, so they won't be in your food. And Dr. Peter Glidden knows this.
Longevity's organic plant-derived liquid minerals. This mineral supplement, which contains 77 plant-derived organic, certified organic minerals, in a colloidal state, saturated, concentrated just below the saturation index, is unrivaled in the field of medical nutrition, the field of nutrition, period. There's no other company that has a product that even comes close to this, and this is a big deal.
Order your liquid colloidal minerals from Longevity today by calling 855-347-3696. That's 855-347-3696. Or on the web at fireyourmdnow.com. That's fireyourmdnow.com.
Gold. It's like nothing else on Earth. From the Romans through the Renaissance, from the Industrial Age to the Space Age, gold has weathered the test of time. For 6,000 years, gold has remained the ultimate store of wealth. According to the World Gold Council and the U.S. Mint, demand is at an all-time high. The stage is being set for the reemergence of gold as the common-sense alternative to a fiat paper currency that gets weaker every day. Midas Resources is proud to offer the hard-hitting report that arms you with the truth you need to protect you and your family from the Fed's plans for your hard-earned money. Don't gamble with your future. Call Midas Resources today and ask for your free copy of As Good as Gold. Call 1-800-686-2233. 2237 for the report the Fed hopes you'll never see. As Good as Gold can be yours by calling 800-686-2237. If you have ever thought about owning gold, you must read this report. Call Midas today at 800-686-2237.
The worst drought in 50 years continues, and the first 6 months of 2012 marks the hottest half year on record. 78% of the Midwest Corn Belt is in drought conditions. Not only corn, but soy, alfalfa, fruits, vegetables, and wheat are all impacted, raising prices. The cost to feed livestock is forcing farmers and ranchers out of business, blowing up your food prices. The only strategy to counter this is to freeze your food cost at today's prices by getting your own supply of foods from eFoods Direct now. As the price of raw ingredients increases, eFoods will have to raise prices too. Now is the time to get your supply. I recently increased my supply from eFoods Direct because we have all known this was coming. You know about their delicious long-term storable foods. The fact is you can eat it any time to save money today. And because it stores for 25 years, you're locking in today's prices and avoiding the rising food cost. Don't wait. Call 800-409-5633 or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex. Call 800-409-5633 or efoodsdirect.com/Alex. You can bet your life on eFoods Direct.
In this unpredictable world, disaster can strike anyone. That's why an essential part of any emergency survival plan must be stove in a can. When power goes out and gas lines are down, the portable, safe, easy-to-use stove in a can cooks food up to 4 hours and boils water in as little as 5 minutes. Stove in a can comes with everything you need. The stove, fuel, even waterproof matches, all in a compact, durable, heavy-duty container. Plus, the all-natural, non-explosive, 100% waterproof fuel source can be stored indefinitely. Say goodbye to the hassle and danger of propane, lighter fluid, or gas. Stock up now and protect your family with Stove in a Can, starting out at $29.99. Special bundle offers now available with a 100% satisfaction guarantee or your money back. Order yours today at stoveiнаcan.com. That's stoveiнаcan.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Peter Glidden. If you'd like to talk to me today live, it's 866-582-9933, 866-582-9933. If you're listening to the podcast after the live broadcast, call one of my friendly associates. That toll-free number, 855-347-3696, 855-347-3696. I'm going to give you a little clinical pearl here, then we're going right to the phones. We have a full board of calls today. This is a trend here. We're actually running out of time here, right? Because so many people are calling this show. Why? Because everybody's sick. Why? Because everybody goes to the MD when they shouldn't. Why does everybody go to the MD? Because it's the only dog in town. It's the only medicine that anybody has access to here in the United States, and that's why we do what we do. Now, there are a number of different types of dementias. And dementia is like cats. You know, there's a lot of different types of cats, and some of them look pretty similar. And unless you were a discriminating cat fancier, you might not know your tabby from your African gray or whatever. One of the types of dementias is called Sundowner's syndrome. And Sundowner's syndrome is a vitamin B, like baby, 1 deficiency. It's a thiamine deficiency. So if you know anybody that has dementia, maybe it's Sundowner's syndrome, maybe it's not. Maybe they were properly diagnosed, maybe they weren't. If you know anybody that's suffering from dementia, give them Youngevity's nutritional supplement, D-Stress. D like David, stress. D-Stress, like detoxify. D-Stress is Youngevity's B like baby complex vitamin supplement. It's got lots of thiamine in it, which is vitamin B1. And if that person was suffering really from Sundowner syndrome, but their MDs didn't know it because it was misdiagnosed, because it's not easy to really kind of pin that stuff down, well, within 14 days of vitamin B1, you are going to notice a remarkable improvement, and grandpa or grandma or whomever it is will start to notice, you know, their friends and their family and their relatives again. So I've seen this a lot. It's a wonderful thing. You've got nothing to lose because the B vitamins are essential anyway. So in order to support and promote the health of the central nervous system in the face of dementia, don't forget the B vitamins, and in this case, the one that I prefer to use is Longevity's De-Stress. All right? So there you go, folks. We're going to continue more along this vitamin conversation tomorrow, so stay tuned. Right now, we're going right to the phones, and we are going to talk to Elaine, who's calling in with a testimony and then a question about gluten. Elaine, welcome aboard. You are live with Dr. Glidden.
Hi, Dr. Glidden. I appreciate you taking my call.
Sure. How can I help?
The testimony is I've been on Longevity products for about a year and a half, and I've been off gluten for about a year and also avoiding the bad foods. And the big thing that happened is I had hypothyroidism, taking 5 grains of desiccated thyroid hormone a day, and now I take 0.
So
completely
you had,
healed.
Yeah, you got to love that, right? So from 5 grains of desiccated thyroid, was that Armour thyroid?
Yes, it was Armour.
Yeah, okay. And
that's a huge dose.
Yeah, it's a gigantic dose. It's one of the biggest I've ever seen. You still have your thyroid, is that right?
Yes, but I had very low temperature, very low energy. I had every terrible
all the
low
classic
thyroid
signs and symptoms of an underactive thyroid. What happened to all of those now? How do you feel?
All of those low thyroid symptoms are gone.
They're gone. What did
your
doctor say? Were you being treated by an MD?
Actually, a naturopath.
Okay,
and I went in and she said I was just like a poster child. She couldn't believe it. She said I don't even look like the same person. She was just absolutely thrilled.
Was she inquisitive as to the product line that you did or what you specifically did?
Yes, she said she's heard of Dr. Wallach and the products, and she was curious, yes. She also attributed a lot of the success to the stopping gluten, which is probably true.
Well, there's so we're running out of time here in this segment, so I just want to riff on this a little bit, Elaine, and then I'll pick you up at the beginning of the next segment. Can you hang on for a couple more minutes?
Sounds good, yep.
All right, good. So this is the thing, folks. Max Planck said it best, that medicine progresses one funeral at a time, and even amongst holistic physicians, people are, there's a lot of inertia, and doctors just don't want to step outside of their comfort box, whether they're a holistic doctor or a conventional doctor. They only want to do the stuff that they learned in school, even though they have evidence directly in front of their face that, holy smokes, this person took vitamins that I've never even heard of. They did a whole supplement program from a company that I'm completely unfamiliar with, and it was the most remarkable turnaround of a thyroid condition I've ever seen, but now I don't want to know about those vitamins. There's a little bit of a disconnect there, right? This is how the human brain is. It gets in our way all of the time. This is why you need to be your doctor. You need to be your own medical friend. You need to up the ante with your education and your knowledge about how this stuff works and grab those reins yourself. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. This is Fire Your MD Now.
Quality water filters and the best quality storable foods from one company? You bet it would, and now you can at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. Big Berkey water filter products and great tasting, long-lasting, storable Wise foods are both now available on one website, BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. Wise foods, ready-to-eat meals are packed in airtight nitrogen pouches and come with a 25-year shelf life. Big Berkey water filters are powerful enough to purify treated, untreated, or even stagnant pond water. Combine Berkey water filters with Wise foods for an unbeatable preparedness combination. Get free shipping on every order over $50, and GCN listeners receive 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Visit BERKEY waterfilters.com or call 877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY, or go to BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com.
The food storage industry leader has done it again. Introducing FDG clubs and survival bucks from the Freeze Dry Guy. For over 39 years, the Freeze Dry Guy has served various government agencies and the private sector with the finest in storable foods and emergency rations. If you've wanted to build emergency food supplies but couldn't afford it, now you can. Go to freezedryguy.com, click on products, and look for the Freeze Dry Guy clubs to pay as you go. Now you can build food storage without going into debt. Choose from a payment range of $95 to $450 per month. Our clubs work with everyone's budget. Plus, when you join Freeze Dry Guy clubs, you'll get additional rewards. For example, this month, get 10% back in survival bucks on all purchases in the Freeze Dry Guy product line, plus free shipping within the lower 48 states on any order amount. Hurry, go to freezedryguy.com or call 866-404-3663. That's freezedryguy.com or call 866-404-3663. The Freeze Dry Guy, the best you can buy.
Every day, nearly 3,000 families enter into foreclosure and face losing their home. If you're currently behind on your mortgage, you can still avoid foreclosure. You can save your home, but you need to act now. We're Allied State Foreclosure Services. We're experts in saving homes from foreclosure. With just one phone call to us, you can stop the foreclosure process, lower your monthly mortgage payments, and save your home. Call now. The call is free with no obligation. 1-800-597-8843. Call us if you've been threatened with foreclosure, denied loan modification, or missed a payment on your mortgage. If you've been a victim of a predatory loan or are upside down on your mortgage. Even if you've lost your job and you're worried about losing your home, don't wait. Call us now and let us help you save your home. You've worked hard to build a life with your family. Let us help you keep your home. Call now before it's too late. 1-800-597-8843. 1-800-597-8843. 1-800-597-8843.
What's safer and cheaper than prescription drugs?
Glad you asked. The answer is Renovation Teas. Herbal remedies are much safer and much cheaper than prescription drugs. Taste great, and most importantly, herbal teas are effective and non-addictive. Renovation Tea is especially unique, and here's why. We spent years researching herbs and their beneficial properties. Renovation Teas uses only 100% organic, fair trade herbs. Our teas are blended towards specific ailments and health conditions, such as diabetes, blood pressure, anxiety, libido, detox, and much more. All Renovation Teas are formulated and hand-filled in Arkansas. Take care of yourself naturally, the way Mother Nature intended. Order Renovation Teas at renovationtea.com or call 870-784-3121. That's 870-784-3121. Renovation Teas. Renovate your health one bag at a time.
Clear out your pantry and make room in your closets. You're going to need the space for these hot August deals at BePrepared.com. Going on now, save 23% on Provident Pantry Scrambled Egg Mix or 28% on freeze-dried strawberry slices. New this month, baking cocoa for daily use or long-term storage. Buy one of the Provident Pantry baking or dessert combos and save up to $25 off individual component pricing. Or add some weight to your water storage at BePrepared.com. The ultimate 55-gallon water barrel combo is on sale this month for only $94.99. Food and water storage is great, but how are you going to cook it in an emergency? The popular Volcano 2 collapsible stove. Save $27.96 off MSRP. Go to BePrepared.com for more details and more August savings now through August 31st. Call 800-999-1863 to experience exceptional customer service and BePrepared.com's low price guarantee. That's 800-999-1863. The choice is clear. Be unprepared or BePrepared.com.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. This is Fire Your MD Now. We're talking to Elaine, who had a complete, remarkable recovery from a big, bad problem with her thyroid gland, diagnosed as an underactive thyroid, hypothyroid, had all the clinical signs and symptoms. Went on the Longevity Health Supplement Program, followed a gluten-free diet, and now she's 100% fine and is 100% prescription medication free for the thyroid. Welcome back, Elaine. Did you have a question about gluten?
Yes, I do. And just another quick thing. That wasn't my only problems. I had terrible joint pain and terrible breaking out on my face, kind of different than rosacea, but just little red bumps. I'm assuming that was from the gluten. And I had some high blood sugars. Although I didn't know it, I just kind of bought a blood monitor, checked it, and they were a little higher than I wanted. But now my A1C, which I do myself at home, in 3 months, went from 5.7, which wasn't terrible, but it was higher than I would like, to 5.4. So I also had that improvement.
And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, the listening audience, A1C, that's hemoglobin A1C. That's a blood test to test for how well your body is metabolizing its sugars, and that's a very, very narrow reference range for hemoglobin A1C. So whenever we see a 1/10 of a point change in hemoglobin A1C, that's a big deal. And your hemoglobin A1C changed by 0.3 of a point. So really, that's just fabulous. I mean, isn't this the best kept secret in modern American medicine?
And on top of that, on the business end of it, because I listen to you and Dr. Wallach every day, and I've learned so much. I'm helping so many people that I'm now an executive marketing director.
And if you don't mind saying, how much was your longevity check last month?
The biggest one I made was just recently about $1,800.
$1,800 in 1 month, plus she got her vitamins for free. Yep. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, you got to love that. And we don't talk about the business aspect of longevity enough, I think, here on the radio show, because people in the listening audience tend to be pig-headed. Not because it's just human nature, right? This is how we're kind of wired. It's like we're skeptical about everything that seems to be outside of the box, but we're not skeptical when it comes to prescription medication. We're not skeptical about the 9 to 5. We're not skeptical about trying to climb the corporate ladder and then hitting the glass ceiling and having the whole cave in on us. But, oh, no, don't talk to me about a network marketing pyramid scheme, right? It's nonsense. I mean, if people had any idea of the financial potential here, there would be 10,000 phone calls to this radio station and to my associates every day, because for a one-time $10 membership fee, the sky really is the limit, ladies and gentlemen, on the amount of money that you can generate by doing something that you would normally do for free. For goodness sake, if you recover like Elaine did from a whole host of physical complaints and you feel the greatest you've ever felt in your life, you're going to shut up about that? No. You're going to tell as many people as you possibly can about that, and guess what? The longevity company will pay you to do this. The financial opportunity here is well worth investigating. So call my associates at 855-347-3696 and have them bring you up to speed with the business opportunity here, because guess what? You don't know what you don't know. All right, Elaine, so what is it that I can help you with today?
Hey, well, this is the thing. I've had all these wonderful successes, and the way that I got my business going is because I just want to help other people to feel better. And so it's easy as falling off a log. You just talk about your success and how good you feel, and next thing you know, you're helping a lot of people. But what's going on is because I felt so good, we ended up buying some dairy cows. And I've never milked dairy cows in my life, and so I'm working harder than I've probably ever worked in my life. And the good news is I'm building a lot of muscle. I'm 62 years old, and so I know things in my body are working really well because I'm building, my biceps, triceps. My legs are literally ripped. People can't believe my legs for my age. I look like I'm 40 years old, but there is a but here. I'm trying to understand everything I can about gluten. I do not eat any gluten. There's no gluten in the house. But because the milk cows, when they give so much milk, I had to start giving some grain. And so I wear gloves and everything, but I'm handling a little bit of grain. And I am having a few symptoms that may be associated with gluten. So my question is, if you have some external exposure to, say, grain or gluten, can that cause you to have an immune response like numbness, peripheral numbness in the feet, or the face could break out again, or something like that, some muscle cramps? Some of that could be just hard work, but I read the book Wheat Belly, and in that it's talking about the peripheral neuropathies and stuff. How in the world does gluten affect you that way if you don't ingest it?
Well, nobody knows, and the honest answer is nobody knows, and I don't know that anybody is ever going to know. But here's the deal, right? There are some things that we know about these things, and there's some information that gets us inside the ballpark, and then we just kind of have to sort it out by personal experience moving forward. So there's two different things to consider here. There's a gluten intolerance, and there's an allergy to wheat, barley, rye, oats, and, other things, cat dander and pine pollen and, whatever, right? So you can have an allergic reaction or you can have an intolerance. And as far as ingesting gluten goes, as far as eating stuff that has wheat, barley, rye, and oats in it, most people are intolerant to that, and a handful of people, in addition to being intolerant, are also allergic to it. So even if you're not allergic to gluten, when you consume it, it damages tissues in your body just because of a mechanical action that happens. And if folks in the listening audience would like a more detailed kind of rundown about how this works, please go to fireyourmdnow.com and opt in for my email newsletter, right? It's a free service. We send out information once a week. And when you opt in for my email list, I automatically send you a link for a video that I put together which explains how gluten negatively affects the inside of your body when it's ingested. All right, it's a pretty good thing if I do say so myself. So opt into my website at fireyourmdnow.com. Opt into my email list at fireyourmdnow.com. Now, you can also develop an allergy to wheat, barley, rye, or oats. And there are many different types of allergies, and there are many different sensitivities to things that you're allergic to. This sounds to me, Elaine, like it's not, it's certainly not an intolerance to gluten, because that's only happens when you eat this stuff. But if you're around it, if you're touching stuff, like if the grain that you're giving the cattle has stuff in it that you're allergic to, then you're having you're having a reaction to the stuff that you're touching, that's touching your body, or that you're inhaling, because there's a lot of dust in barns, right? You can inhale all kinds of stuff. So this sounds to me like more of a mild or medium allergic reaction than it does an intolerance to gluten. So the only thing that I can say is, if you're allergic to something, that is a whole different Megillah than being intolerant to something. And it's interesting here because there's a little bit of segue between the two, because from our point of view, when anybody develops an allergy to something, it's because they've been eating gluten. And one of the things that gluten does is it punches holes in the border inside your body between the inside of the body and the outside of the body. So when you consistently eat gluten, there are holes in the fence that separates the inside of your body from the external world. And when there are holes in that fence, things can slip through the fence, get inside the body that shouldn't be inside the body, and when they're inside the body, they elicit an immune response. So when somebody is eating wheat, barley, rye, and oats all of the time for decades, right, their immune system, just when they eat food, just when they eat carrots with carrots with pasta, or you eat broccoli, or you eat strawberries with your oatmeal, right? You can develop an allergy to different foods, which will then make your immune system hypersensitive, which then makes you kind of like a walking, talking, ticking time bomb. And it makes people much more sensitive to things in the environment, in the allergic sphere, than they were before. And an interesting thing happens when people start to nutrify their bodies. And this is counterintuitive, but when you, for the first time in your life, clean your diet up and take all of the nutritional supplements that your body needs and strengthen your body from the inside out, a lot of switches in your body flip on that have been turned off for a long time, and your body becomes hypersensitive. You become now you're strong, your body is strong, as is evidenced by the fact that, your calf muscles are ripped and all your arthritic problems are gone and your hypothyroid condition is gone and everything else is better that you've been dealing with for a long time, and you feel like $1 million. So your system is stronger, but it's also more sensitive. So it's very common for people who are having remarkable improvement here to, in addition to getting stronger and having their historical symptoms disappear, they're more sensitive now, like the canary in the coal mine, to negative things in the environment. And I think that that's what's happening to you. So regretfully, I think the only way that you can fix this is to change the stuff that you're feeding the cows. Because I think it's an exposure thing. I don't think it's an internal thing. I think it's an exposure thing. So I would mess around with different feeds for the cows and see if your reaction, your physical symptoms subside. Does that make sense?
The only other, that makes a lot of sense, and I think you hit the nail right on the head. And the other question I have is, could some of these, like the peripheral neuropathy and stuff, could it be that it just is going to take a little longer? I am taking...
No, well, look, if I'm correct, and this is precipitated by exposure, then when you eliminate the exposure, the neuropathy symptoms should subside, like watching ice melt in the springtime. One way to test that is like go away on vacation for 7 days. Just leave the farm. Just leave. Go somewhere else for 7 days and see what happens to the neuropathy. And if the neuropathy melts away like ice in the springtime, then it's an exposure thing. But if you go away for 7 days and the neuropathy is exactly the same as it was when you were at home all the time, then it's something else. And if it's something else, I doubt that it is. But if it is anything else, the first thing that I would think about would be degenerative disc disease. So, you might want to go to a good chiropractor and have them do an x-ray of your spine and see if the discs are degenerating. Or you could, if you know how tall you were a couple years ago, you can measure your height again and see if you're shorter. And if you're shorter, you probably have degenerative disc disease. But, it's kind of a stretch here. Sometimes you can get, unhealthy discs. Your discs can lose their structural integrity, and you're not going to get symptoms. Eventually you're going to get symptoms from that. But so really I'm thinking exposure. And in order to prove whether or not it is in fact an exposure thing, you need to just remove yourself from that environment for a little while and see if the symptoms go away. Elaine, you are a testament to the product. Thank you for calling. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for trusting us in the first place. Thank you for stepping outside of the box. But more importantly, thank you for helping us to spread our message of health recovery through medical nutrition, because that's what we're about, folks. Make no doubt about it. We are building a grassroots coalition of the informed because your MDs have let you down, and guess what? You are the best hope your family, friends, and church members have for a long and healthy life. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Don't touch that dial.
Despite what medical experts tell you, it's just not possible to get all the nutrients your body needs from food. Minerals are essential for good health, but not all soils contain these nutrients, so they won't be in your food. And Dr. Peter Glidden knows this.
Longevity's organic plant-derived liquid minerals. This mineral supplement, which contains 77 plant-derived organic, certified organic minerals, in a colloidal state, saturated, concentrated just below the saturation index, is unrivaled in the field of medical nutrition, the field of nutrition, period. There's no other company that has a product that even comes close to this, and this is a big deal.
Order your liquid colloidal minerals from Longevity today by calling 855-347-3696. That's 855-347-3696. Or on the web at fireyourmdnow.com. That's fireyourmdnow.com.
We all know that Berkey Water Purification Systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey Water Filtration Systems. The Berkey Light Systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light System today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
Here it is, another election year. And here you are again, wishing you knew more about the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the other amendments, and the Declaration of Independence. But who has the time to study? Wouldn't it be nice if you could simply listen to them? And wouldn't it be great if they came packaged with an index? Yep, an index that lets you go to any part of the founding documents just by punching in a track number on your computer or CD player. What exactly is the Ninth Amendment? Track 10, play. It's that simple. The Founding Documents collection on audio CD. To get yours now, just go to Amazon.com and type in Founding Documents Collection, CD. For just $19.95 and $3.99 shipping and handling, you'll have the firepower you need to argue from the ultimate facts that form our nation's foundation. Want to be a hero? Get one for you and give another to your local school for Constitution Day. Go to Amazon.com now and type in Founding Documents Collection, CD.
What's the difference in all these online emergency food stores? The difference is Deseret. DeseretFoodStore.com has the best price on a 1-year supply of restaurant-style gourmet food starting at just $695 for 875 servings. For the highest quality food with a 30-year shelf life, experience the Deseret difference at DeseretFoodStore.com, spelled DESERET, or call 801-444-1444. DeseretFoodStore.com. Food for now, food for life.
In a coming-apart world, you need something to keep it tied together. That something is Atwood Rope, the highest quality rope made in the USA, from exotic braids for military, rescue, arborists, shipyards, tow line, or boating. Quality rope at affordable prices you and your customers can depend on. Find a dealer or shop online at atwoodrope.net. Enter promo code RADIO to receive 100 feet of 550 paracord free with purchase. Atwood Rope, working to keep the world tied together.
Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here. You know, there are people in your community, people in your town, maybe your next-door neighbor, who last night went to bed praying to God for help with their physical condition. Praying to God for help with their physical condition. You might have walked right by him in the mall today. You might have walked right by him in the store today. You might have driven right past him in your car today. You might have been right next to him in the line waiting to buy a ticket at the movie, and you didn't know anything about it. Everybody in this country is suffering. Everybody in this country is suffering with a health condition or a financial condition, and longevity can help. If you are a longevity distributor and you're listening to this broadcast, you need to redouble your efforts to spread this word. Take a walk on the wild side. Open your mouth. Hand out a CD. Direct people to this radio show. Direct people to my webinars. Direct people to Dr. Wallach's lectures. Direct people to my lectures. Direct people to the Blitz calls, to the longevity events. Because people are literally dying for this information. They might have been right next to you, hoping that somebody was going to talk to them about help, praying to God for help, and you didn't open your mouth. Open your mouth. Take a walk on the wild side. What? Somebody's going to say no or look at you cross-eyed? They look at you cross-eyed behind your back. Who cares what other people think? You are the last best hope your friends and family and church members and community members have for a healthy and wealthy life. So get out there, get into action, and make a difference. We've got time for one more phone call. Paul, you've been very patient. You are live with Dr. Glidden. Thanks for calling. Oh, Paul left. I got to go. Paul left. Paul is gone. Okay, who's next? Whoever else is next up in the line, we'll take him. Hi, I'm Dr. Glidden. Randy.
Yes.
All right,
hello.
Randy.
Sorry.
Hey, Randy. Thanks for calling. How can I help?
I've got a family member. She was on prednisone for years for asthma.
Yeah.
And she also has a degenerative back issue, and she'd gotten I think it was almost a spinal block thing. It's supposed to last a year, but it only lasted about, 4 months. Yeah. And between that and then because of the prednisone, they told her when she went back in for the back thing, they said, oh, and by the way, you also have necrosis of both hips from the prednisone.
Well, yeah, it was the prednisone that accelerated that for sure, right? Yeah.
And so I was wondering if what longevity stuff she could try that might, maybe turn some of this around for her.
All right, well, the body has a remarkable ability to fix itself, right? Even in the face of trauma, like car accidents or bullet wounds, or your leg's been blown off, or even in the face of, hip replacement surgery or knee replacement surgery that then starts to fail further on down the road. The way that these drugs, specifically prednisone, damages the body is by sucking away the nutrients that the body needs in order to maintain itself. It's kind of like if you snuck up to somebody's car and siphoned off their gas, well, the car's not going to run anymore. Well, when you take prednisone, it siphons off the nutrients that your joints need in order to maintain their structural integrity. There's no real magic here or esoteric mystery to how this works. That's how it works. So what do? Well, we're just going to put all the stuff back. We're going to fill the tank back up with gas. We're going to fill the body back up with the nutrients that it needs to have healthy bones. You're going to get the heck out of the way and see what happens. So really, this isn't as complicated as you might think, because of the presence of the historical prednisone. Oh, it must have complicated, it must have screwed things up. Well, no, it's created a mess, but it is entirely within the body's domain to fix that mess. So what do in order to support and promote the health of hips? The same thing we do to support and promote the health of joints or bones. The recommendation here would be 1 healthy bone and joint pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month, plus 2 bottles of Ultimate Selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month. And then you also want to dial in a glucogel supplement, glucogel in capsule form. 1 glucogel per 10 pounds of body weight per day. So if she's 240 pounds, you divide her weight by 10. That's 24 glucogel capsules a day. That would be 8 with breakfast, 8 with lunch, and 8 with dinner. Now, you're going to get some glucogel in the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, but you might need to order extra in order to reach this target of 1 glucogel per 10 pounds of body weight per day. So that's 1 healthy start per 1 healthy bone and joint pack and 2 bottles of selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per day, plus extra glucogel and the good food, bad food diet. Get her on the good food, bad food diet. Opt into my newsletter at fireyourmdnow.com, and I'll email you that for free. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. See you tomorrow.
Alex Jones here with a great way to beat the blackouts, get off the grid, and generate your own supply of electrical power. Folks, with what's been going on in this country, I don't have to tell you about the power grid and just how vulnerable it is. That's in the mainstream news every day. Millions of people have lost their power in the last few weeks because of dangerous storms and killer heat that's pushing the grid beyond its capacity. I've always said that every family needs to be ready for blackouts. And if you don't have a backup system in place, I've got a great opportunity for you. Right now, our good friends at Solutions from Science are offering huge savings on their best-selling Power Hub unit. In fact, I think it's the best deal I've ever seen them make. It's literally thousands of dollars in savings. Remember, these backup systems don't need gas because they're solar-powered. That means there's no dangerous fumes and no noise. InfoWars listeners can get all the details at beattheblackouts.com. That's beattheblackouts.com.
America, land of the free. But how free can you be, really, when internet viruses and malware can attack your computer? Sure, you have antivirus protection, but it's not free, is it? Until now. Now, ZoneAlarm offers free antivirus protection. And independent studies show that ZoneAlarm provides better malware protection than even Norton and McAfee. And they're not free, are they? Declare your freedom and go to getbetterforfree.com. That's getbetterforfree.com.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.